Barbers of Reddit. How do you play it off when you know you messed up someone's hair? Yeah, the haircut you're looking for requires a month or two of growing. It'll look good if you put some gel in it, said the stylist at Mr. Cuts in the mall after she trimmed my sideburns about 1.5 inches above my ear. Nothing good ever starts with haircut in the mall. When we were newlyweds, my wife tried to cut my hair. She was nervous and not having a great day anyway. And I guess the clippers slipped or something. She started bawling and ran off. So there I was. A helpless, hopeless freak. I found a nearby barber shop and went in. It was a dank, smoke-filled place with an old TV showing Arnold Schwarzenegger movies on continuous loop. This little, middle-aged lady with a raspy voice said, "What'll it be, hon?" I explained what happened. She looked at it and said that it was pretty bad, but she'd do what she can. She only used a comb and clippers. And in 10 minutes I had a perfect haircut. That became my regular place until she lost her lease about a year later and had to close the shop. It took me years to finally convince my wife to cut my hair. Basically, I had to screw up the back of my head trying to cut it myself. Then ask for her help. Then assure her that if she didn't do well, I was fully prepared to shave my entire head. Key indicator. He is lining you up and stands in front of you. Then he squints his eyes after using the clippers. After he uses the clippers again, he squints his eyes while rubbing his chin. He does this for more than 1 minute. Once that is done, he doesn't show you the mirror that they usually hand you so you can check out your cut. He doesn't make eye contact after you pay him. You say "Thanks bro" and he says "Alright man" with zero eye contact, and he returns to his chair to clean up. Now you exit the barber. Don't look at any mirrors on your way out. Once you leave the barber shop, you go into your car. Again, don't look at any mirrors. Don't skip this next step. Go on Google Maps and find a mall. Preferably one that is not in your area so no one recognizes who you are. Find a baseball cap that you love. Make sure you are comfortable wearing it for the next month. Wait about 2 months to let your hairline recover. Final step: never go to a barber without checking reviews again. It's not worth it. Are oddly specific. You know, you'd look really good bald. Bonus points when you are a woman. By not showing me the back of it. One day I was in a changing room at store and learned that my stylist actually had no idea how to fade a dude's hair. Went to a barber and he was like, "Yes, Ed. But I'll fix it." This had me dying. Everyone has to experience a bad cut in their life though. That builds character. I'm not a barber, but I've been to one. She had my sideburns at different lengths. I wasn't being picky. They were at least half an inch different. When I pointed it out, she fixed them by overcompensating on the one side so that they were still half an inch different. I pointed this out, and her reply was, "Maybe your ears are crooked." Good cover. That one. Not a barber and not my story, but my mother's. She had hair that, when put in a braid, went down to about the back of her knees. She had been growing out that hair 20+ years with just trims and visits to get split ends removed. She went to get a normal split end removal and the girl cutting mom's hair said, "I'm new but I've been doing this for a while now." So imagine the anger and horror my mother expressed when this girl took her long luscious hair, braided it, grabbed some heavy scissors and cut it to about halfway down her back. From knee length to halfway down her back. This girl's excuse: cover up. I thought maybe you would have wanted to donate it to make wigs. She didn't ask my mom or anything. She simply went on and did what she wanted. About halfway through the worst haircut I ever got, I started to get agitated and shifting around in my seat. She realized that she effed up, and subtlety started rubbing her boobs into the back of my head. Eventually just kind of grinding them against me. Boo, the time the haircut was over, I swear I could not think straight anymore. I just paid and got out of the room as quickly as possible. It was an entirely successful technique. I got a horrible cut at an expensive salon a month ago. The guy just stopped talking to me partway through and then didn't fully dry or style my hair before essentially fleeing in what I can only assume was an attempt to hide how much he effing botched it. I knew I was getting a bad cut when the guy started shaving my hairline like it was the back of my neck. I have never had anyone do that before. I gave it about a week before I just shaved my head because I had stubble for a hairline, with the rest being 4.5 inches long combed back. I'm not even balding in the front, so there was no reason to even go there. The second red flag was when he said this should be about as long as you want it for your man bun. The words man and bun never left my lips the whole time I was getting it cut. All I asked was for a trim about half the length cut off and the sides shaved down. Do you want a man bun? My mom is a pro hairstylist, and she said that whenever she cuts someone's hair too short and the customer complains, she just makes up stuff on the fly and says, but this length looks better. It complements your face shape and brings out your cheekbones. I once asked someone to cut layers according to where my hair naturally parted. She proceeded to cut it according to a completely different parting and made it super crooked. It looked bad. I could see it. She could see it. The old lady with glasses as thick as my pinky could see it. I told her this wasn't what I asked for. She told me she thought it would look cute. I told her she was wrong. Cut my hair myself later to see if I could salvage it and wore it in a bun for the longest time. Not a barber. But even when she was done, she kept coming back to the same parts. And then when she was done, she gelled the shit out of my hair and combed it up like that one Jersey Shore guy with the weird hair. When I was like 6 or 7, the lady cutting my hair at Sport Clips messed up really bad and gave me 2 bald spots on the side of my head. Once it happened, she promptly accused me of having alopecia. Keep in mind, my hair was never long in the first place, so any bald spots would have been apparent before the haircut. When I turned 14, a woman at Fantastic Sam's gave me a mullet, then acted absolutely livid when I cried. My mom just gave her the proper amount and we left. I rocked a mullet to school the next day. Got called Joe Dirt a lot that year. I never went back to Fantastic Sam's. Bruh, my mate's barber just said I ruined your hair, boo, but it'll grow back most likely. LMFAO, I got this. I went to a really nice salon to bleach color my hair blonde. I had grown out my previously dyed black hair for 2 years and had nearly all of that chopped off, but there was still a little left. Well, that part turned orange. Instead of asking me if I wanted to cut it off or providing me options for fixing it in another app, my stylist tried to sell me on it with "this is cool. It looks like your hair is on fire. Does flame hands around my hair? Yeah? No." After crying in my car on the way home and then wearing a scarf for a week, I went back and got the rest of it cut off. Super long, but this just hit home for me. I once got my hair cut from a place in a strip mall. It was kinda like a first choice hair cutter or whatever, so I didn't think it would be too bad. I was in middle school and loved my hair. It was down to my waist when straightened. But naturally it's curly. Due to its weight, it didn't curl so much as have nice waves. I was tired of it getting in the way and wanted to go shorter. Shoulder length. That's what I told the hairdresser. This was the day I learned that you should never cut curly hair wet. Apparently the lady didn't know how to properly cut hair. Chopped off my hair to my shoulder, then kept going. I was young and in shock at seeing all my hair drop to the floor, but was too uncomfortable to speak up. Finally, when my hair was at my chin, my mother came in and asked what the hell the lady was doing. She said it was shoulder length, pulled my hair as hard as she could so my head tilted till my hair touched. My mum asked how the hell this was shoulder length when I had curly hair and it was soaking wet. The lady's response? It was only curly on the bottom. My mum demanded she stop. Too mad to argue, she paid and we stormed out while I cried for hours. I think I'm total. I cried for 3 days. After my hair dried, my hair bounced up to sit just below my ears. It was awful and I didn't go see another hairdresser for a few years after that. TLDR, got my hair cut at a strip mall. Lady didn't know how to cut curly hair and cut my waist length hair to my ears, saying it was shoulder length. One time I did real bad and I could tell the guy was kind of pissed. So when I was trimming the back with a straight razor, I slipped and knocked his jugular. Believe me, an ambo ride and 5 pints of blood later. He wasn't worried about his hair anymore. Not too long ago, I used to work at this barber shop. A rather strange looking man came in and said he wanted a bob cut. I agreed and started to cut away. I had looked away for 5 seconds. And the clippers cut all of the hair of the top of his head. I knew I was screwed. He asked, "Are you finished yet? I'm running late. I need to get home to my wife." I sat there in pure shock. He added, "I am just going to leave. Mind if I see my hairstyle?" I quickly tried to cover it up by adding, "No. No. Wait until you get home. Your wife would surely love to see it. How about you see it with your wife?" He didn't understand what I was hinting at. So he paid and left. At that time, it was around 5:45. We close at 9 o'clock. Turns out, his wife hated the hairstyle and threatened to divorce him, as she thought it was a dirty joke. He came back and said, "Hey man, why didn't you just effing tell me that you made my hair look like Well, my rookie mistake. Also Ryan, if you're ready, this sorry man. It was a mistake. Hope you and your wife are doing fine."